So you've been prescribed your antidepressants and you're just too scared to start. This video's for you. One of the most common comments I read in my videos surrounds people that have been prescribed antidepressants and are too afraid to start. So they've read about the side effects, or they've watched one of my videos and are a little bit worried about getting started. So they've just got this packet staring at them, and lots of things can happen with that, and I wanted to make a video to address that specifically. So firstly, if you are too afraid to start, don't feel guilty, don't feel alone. It's pretty normal. There's lots of things to weigh up when you're starting any medication, and antidepressants are certainly not something to be taken lightly. You really do need to feel confident going into it, informed going into it, and I would say that there are lots of people probably who have this packet at home, and in not taking them there's a lot of guilt associated with that, and actually that can make some of the symptoms of depression or anxiety or any kind of mental health issue that you're struggling with amplify. So I can only talk from my perspective, but I can see the positive impact that they had on me. I've talked already about the side effects, and if you haven't watched that video already, I will put a link at the end of this one. But it was really important, I suppose, that I went into that new medication feeling informed about what was about to happen to me. So consequently, I went on YouTube and I read blogs, and you start finding all of this stuff out about the side effects and the journey, I suppose, that happens when you start taking an antidepressant. And not all of it is positive. I think that's really important to just recognise and own that there might be things that happen that are difficult to deal with or challenging to deal with. So I just wanted to kind of pitch something to you, that if the doctor has made a decision to prescribe an antidepressant to you or to someone that you love, perhaps you're supporting them by watching this video, that's a decision that isn't made lightly, because there's lots of other therapies that can be offered to you and probably will have been offered to you prior to the prescription of antidepressants. If a doctor has made a decision to write out a prescription for Sertraline, for example, that's because they genuinely believe that that is the thing that is going to make the most impact, the most positive impact for you right now. So if you're really struggling, you've gone to the pharmacy and you've collected the pills and they're just sat in a drawer at home, and you don't really want to recognise that you've got them, there might be shame associated with that, or just a kind of, like I say, a fear of the side effects. Don't be afraid of talking to your pharmacist, or don't be afraid of talking to your doctor again. And when you speak to your doctor, just explain that you're feeling scared, you're feeling worried about it. They will have come across this before, okay? And it's important that they understand your concerns. They might have prescribed antidepressants at a point where maybe you've gone to them and you're feeling particularly vulnerable. So the information that maybe they've given you about the antidepressants probably wouldn't have sunk in. And actually going back to see them, take the pills in with you and just say, look, you prescribed me these, I just want some clarification about what they do to my body, can be really empowering. And I think if you understand that, you can move forward. If the side effects that you suffer are monumental and they put you in a worse position, go and see your doctor. Not everyone reacts the same way to the range of antidepressants out there. So your doctor will have prescribed you one. It doesn't mean that another antidepressant won't have a more positive effect on you, or there might be less negative effects associated with it. So you've done the hard thing, which is to seek professional help. Now maintain that dialogue. Talk to your doctor again if you're unhappy with the side effects or you need support with the side effects. Chances are there's going to be something that they can do to support you. What happens on the internet a lot is people talk about negative experiences quite often more than positive experiences. And we can be a bit cynical when someone shares a positive experience. So when we look at side effects of an antidepressant, what we quite often come across is a bias towards the negative. So when people have had bad reactions to a certain antidepressant, and that can be really scary, because you're taking an antidepressant at probably the most vulnerable time of your life. And if you're, like me, quite obsessive about certain things, you'll come across forums where people have had terrible reactions. People will talk about suicidal thoughts creeping in. That's probably a minority, and you need to make the decision about whether or not you take them. The majority probably are silent. The majority probably see the benefits. And you struggle in that minority area where the side effects are so significant, profound, profoundly negative, talk to your doctor about alternatives, and that is the message. That's the recommendation. I would say also is read the comments on my side effects videos. So you'll see that I'm actually quite positive about the side effects. Yes, they're a bit annoying at the start, but the place they took me to was much better. If you read the comments, there's loads of comments below the video. That's what I love so much, is when people kind of engage and leave comments. But if you read the comments below the video, you'll see how many people are talking about the positive side effects, the life-changing effects. One person was talking about how their wife has almost like become human again. They were terrified that they'd lost them to depression. If you're too terrified to start, go and talk to your GP. They'll be able to have a conversation with you, explain perhaps now that you're in a more receptive mood, the specific side effects and the most common side effects, upset stomach, etc., and perhaps support your thinking. If you've read lots about kind of like deep dives into despair, support your thinking around that. It's not an easy thing to take, but the majority of people find their way out. Let me know where you're at. You know, the point of this channel is to empower people to have conversations about their mental health. There's always going to be dips from time to time, but let me know where you're at. Leave comments. Tell me how you're doing. Remember, there's lots of people that read those comments and be inspired by what you say. I did say the side effects video would be a really good place to start if you haven't already. By all means, check that out now. There'll be a link on the screen. Ba-bam, as if by magic. And it'd be fabulous to see you again. Bye.